Hey everyone out there, Dan RadioStyle here. Hope everybody's doing fantastic. Inching our way towards our goal. This came up, one, as a viewer question, and two, it kind of came up as something that's kind of happening right now in work for me too, like my normal life job thing. It's happening in these same places, and it's kind of interesting how it shows up, and it kind of like popped into my head. I'm like, might make a good topic, right? So a lot of us, maybe as we're moving towards our manifestation, are going to have moments where we connect with it. We're starting to interact with our specific person, maybe, or we're starting to taste that level of success. Maybe we dipped up to it. Maybe it was an overtime period, whatever, right? We're tasting what it's like to see that kind of income and be able to spend that kind of money, or to spend time with the person of our dreams, right? And we reach that point where we're with them, but it's not quite what we had in mind. It's a little different. Maybe something's not right. Maybe they're being a little off. Maybe they're not as close as we'd like, because we've imagined this and fantasized about this for weeks and weeks, right? Maybe less, maybe more, right? And we've imagined how this is supposed to play out, and they're supposed to just be into it just like we are immediately. And for some reason, maybe that's not quite playing out. Maybe we're with them. Maybe we've started that job. Maybe we've tasted that level of success. Maybe it was overtime, like I said. Who knows? But we're inching our way there, yet something's still not quite right. Something has maybe kind of bummed you out along the way, right? And you find yourself getting your energy kind of all jacked up. Maybe this is what broke the relationship up to begin with. Maybe you feel yourself dipping back down below. Maybe you're finding that the hours got cut back. Maybe the income level's gotten dropped down. Maybe they're not texting you back now like they were the last 2-3 weeks. And so what this does is this starts to cause doubts to pop back into our mind. Causes things to show back up where we're at. We've accomplished what it is that we were after. We hit that next mark, yet we still feel oddly short of the finish line. Example with work for me right now. It's the standard, this concept of this project that's been moving forward. There's aspects to it that certainly need some love, need a little bit of tweaking. But right before we're ready to go live, which was supposed to be last week, major bug pops up, major issue shows up, delays our release. Delays our sign-off from the users that are supposed to basically say, yes, this is good to go. So here we are, we're there. We're at the place where we're ready to go, but there's still a little bit of fine-tuning. There's still a little tweaking going on. We still need to look back in on ourselves. These are the moments that we really do need to sort of fine-tune where we're at with our beliefs, with our self-love, with our doubt cycles. Why are we doubting? First off, doubt tends to come from, issues of not being happy with your view of yourself, right? Maybe your self-esteem's low. Maybe there's not self-love. Maybe there's some past trauma that still lingers inside of you that constantly keeps throwing its head up. Well, remember that one time when the guy cheated on you, and then forever, now every guy that ever says, no, I'm just going to be late from work, you're like, he's cheating on me. No, he's just going to be late from work. Right? It's not always the worst case scenario. But these things might start showing up for those of us that have been cheated on, right? Like that late from work thing. You might see that pattern pop back in your life. And here you are, new person maybe. Maybe it's the same person, whatever. I'm trying to keep it fresh with my examples. New person, right? There's no reason to have this, but here we are repeating past fun that we've had growing through other relationships, right? Like here we are starting to question these things. So yes, I accomplished, I manifested what I'm after, but here I am still not happy. Here I am still questioning whether I'm doing the right thing. Here I am again going through some of the same issues I had before. Kind of one of the examples why sometimes I talk about whether or not we have really solved the issues that are inside of us before we get back with our SP or before we get in these relationships. Sometimes if you're not far enough along emotionally or within yourself or maybe within your job, if you're not far enough along down the road, you're not ready for a relationship. And sometimes We get to get into it early before we are ready, but there's a reason, I think, honestly, why sometimes we're allowed, sometimes we're not. And I think it's one of those places where you're allowed to, you get to experience it, but you still get to experience some of the limitations and lack that you were both experiencing prior. So we need to look at these moments. We need to see what it is. We need to continue evolving forward. Just because you've accomplished your manifestation doesn't mean by any means you're done with your evolution, with your soul searching, with your growth. Especially in relationships, I've talked about this as well. While we're in relationships, they're meant to offer us soul growth. They're meant to move us forward with our souls, to help us evolve. In the case like my job, oftentimes jobs are meant to be career builders, skill builders, understanding builders from the big work picture. And so in my case, that's kind of where I get to be at. There's still avenues that I'm having to play with to help fine-tune this motion forward. I don't get all freaked out and worried about it. I see it for what it is. It's an opportunity to tweak what I've currently got in play. What I've got in play is working, it's happening, it's functioning, but there's a little part to it that needs a little adjustment, a little love, a little something. So just because you're having some moments, you're struggling a little bit while you're heading down this manifestation path, maybe you've gotten it already, maybe you're getting a taste of it, maybe you're getting really close. It doesn't mean we're done. It doesn't mean we stop. This is a process that you're going to continue well after you get your specific person. Yeah, you got your specific person. Great. You're not going to continue to work on yourself. Isn't that kind of maybe why maybe the relationship in the past broke? Or maybe you want to continue looking forward and manifesting more wonderful experiences for you and this person. Allow it to grow. Allow it to evolve. Allow it to go through its blooming and blossoming. And it will become an amazing step. So when we get to these places, when we find ourselves stuck in a little bit of a, it's not quite what we expected, or maybe we're back together and it's not as good as we were hoping. It's kind of back to, I see why we broke up. One thing we can do that does help, and it's a powerful tool, just manifesting in general. But look for the next step. So now you're back together. Let's take a trip together, you and your specific person. Or now I'm back in my new career. Let me start to imagine my new office, my new desk, my new rental car, the new place I'm going to start traveling to, the new building that I get to work at. Let me start seeing these next things. Let me imagine myself in the conference rooms, leading meetings, standing at the head of the desk and seeing a bunch of heads down below. Or let me see myself going on a trip where I see out on one side, I see the ocean, and I look out the other side and I see something, and maybe my specific person is in the car, and I see their face as I'm looking out the window, which implies we're traveling down together, right? We're traveling down the road of life and love and some travel, some trip. Maybe I imagine us on a boat going someplace, maybe out here for our example, maybe taking the boat out to Catalina, going out there for the day, right? Like one of these scenarios where you get a chance to kind of expand and explore and be more together. Or expand and explore and be more with this manifestation, whatever it is. Money, job, car, boat, wife, life, happiness, whatever. All of these things have another step. Think about where I'm at right now. Where would I like to be? I'm starting to date my person. Great. Where else would you like this to go? Where else would you like this to expand to? Then take it there. Enjoy it further. Take the mental imaginations further. What does this do? Why do we do this? This does things more than just working through our problems. What this does is it gets you to focus on where you want to go. We've talked about this before, right? Focus-based universe. So if I can alter my focus and put my focus where I'd like it, I'm already making progress. Doesn't matter anything else, already making progress. People talk about, well, you just have to do it 51% of the time. Yeah, but you can do it way more than that. And it's not hard to do. It's your focus. So when you catch yourself focused somewhere else, let's focus on where we'd like to go. So it gets you thinking in that direction. It gets you putting mental energy towards it. It gets you thinking and imagining a happier, better reality. It gets you creating those mental images and scenes inside your mind, which are creative. it gets you doing the law of attraction stuff. Everyone talks about how does law of attraction work? That's how it works, is by these mechanisms. Many people say, well, it's the law of attraction that creates these things. No, law of attraction is describing the creative process. Law of attraction is not the creative process. The law of attraction is describing the creative process. The creative process existed before the law of attraction. Law of attraction just came along to say, hey, this thing that you keep experiencing, that's it. That's what we're going to call it. It's got a cool little catch name. Boom. So when we're working on those pieces, when we're expanding our vision and our dream and our hopes, we're creating more towards this place that we're going. So maybe everything's a little weird. It's sort of there, but not quite. It's okay. That's good. And basically, you're there already. Just tweak it a little. Just dial it in a hair. Hopefully that makes a lot of sense to y'all. I'm almost such a habitual thing to want to go out with a song, but I appreciate everything. Hope this all makes sense. And again, leave comments. And if you haven't, please subscribe. It'd be great if you haven't subscribed already, to please go ahead and subscribe. Put the little bell icon, and from there, you can be notified of any of the videos that I put out. Hopefully, again, all these things make sense. Dan RadioStyle. Thanks.